So far, let us see what we have covered in this module 4. We are able to review the WDM technology, how to define and elaborate WDM technology, means how to implement it, and what are its different standards, DWDM and CWDM, with their applications. Later, we discussed about MZI multiplexers uh, and its quantitative analysis we have did. So today we are going to look into the discussion of isolators and circulators. Let's see these things. So as we already discussed, these are nothing but passive devices and non-reciprocal. They are going to circulate the energy coming from one port to the next successive port, not in any random manner. That's why they are known as non-reciprocal devices. So to understand the operation, yesterday I discussed about certain aspects to be known there. Sorry. The first one is what you mean by polarizing plane or uh, polarization state. Polarization plane or state, it will be indicating a set of or a group of field components and how they are oriented. So polarization plane or state, it is going to indicating the orientation or the direction of the E field components or field components in generally in a particular direction in the particular or specific predefined area. So that is known as a polarization plane or a state. Polarizer is a device or a material that transmit only one polarization component and blocks the other. For example, if you are looking at this rectangular section here, for example, this one, if you are getting any field component coming in this direction like this, uh, suppose this field light ray may contain the field components, some are oriented like this, means parallel to this one, some are oriented like this, and some are oriented like this. So in that case, so this one is going to allow only the field components which are oriented perpendicularly, means parallel to this one. So only this one will be allowed. Remaining are not allowed. So these two things, the field components are not allowed. They are blocked here. Okay. So that is the meaning of the polarizer. So next one is a Faraday rotator, the device which is going to rotate the SOP. SOP means state of polarization by specific angle. You can tell to Faraday rotator to rotate this the field component by after allowing it, it will tell rotate this by already it is 90 degrees there, rotate it by 35 degree. So by the time it is going out, it will be 125 degree like that. That is the job of Faraday rotator. So another one is half wave plate. That is another material or device which is going to rotate SOP clockwise by 45 degree. If any field component is entering at this side, leaving this side left to right, it is going to rotate that by 45 degree clockwise. If any field component coming from right to left, it is going from right to left, then it is going to rotate the field components by anti-clockwise 45 degree. Okay. So let us see the next one, the optical isolators, devices which are allowing the light in only one direction. That what we mean by non-reciprocating devices. Polarization is independent isolator with the three optical components you can see here. Three optical components are there here. If you look into this figure, one is a Walk-off polarizers are there. So these from which are actually made up of titanium dioxide, walk-off polarizers. That is the first component. Three optical components used. The first component is this one that is named like this. The second component is a birefringent plate. So two sides we are using there in the initial and at the ending part. This one is a transmitter section, guys. If you look at this one, so this part is a transmitter part. Okay, this one is a receiver part. So in the transmitter part, you got the polarizer plate is there, birefringent plate, initial and at the end side, with the different edgings. And in the middle, you got the 45-degree Faraday rotator. It is going to rotate any field component entering there. So by the time it is going to exit from this Faraday rotator, it will be rotated left to right. Uh, Left to right, if any field component, if it is going, it will be rotated, sorry, by 45-degree. Right to left, here you can see when you're going to, when the field component is going to transverse the Faraday rotator in the receiver part here, then it will be again rotated by 45-degree like that. So let us see what are the function of each of these things that is going to make up the operational concept of this optical isolator. Let us take first the transmitter part. The fiber is there, light is coming out of this one, light ray having the different orientation of the different field components. Now this birefringent plate, because of this kind of edging, okay, so you can see some edging is there, some angle will be there. Let us assume it may be around 35-degree. Okay, for example. Then what it will do, it will allow only those field components which are oriented 35-degree clockwise. Okay. Then it will be reoriented by 90-degree. That is going to match with this 90-degree uh, shaping of this Faraday rotator. Then it will be reoriented by 45-degree. By the time it will exit from this rotator, again it will be allowed by this plate. So by the time it will exit from this plate, again it will be reoriented by according to this angle, edge angle. So because of this different orientation, the single light ray in the initial part itself will be converted into two rays. One is ordinary ray that is not affected by any of these plates orientations action. Okay, another one is extraordinary ray that is undergoing the orientation by the impact of these different two plates and Faraday rotator. Okay, so that's why we are getting two types of rays from the single optical ray that is coming from the fiber. Initially, only field components with orientation of 35-degree are allowed. Then they are let to go to pass through this 45-degree Faraday rotator to undergo 45-degree sorry rotation. Then this last plate is another orientation is going to have the impact on that. So finally, we are getting at the end ordinary and extraordinary rays. Later in the receiver part, uh, the light ray, right optical fiber Sorry, I think this is the optical isolator. No, let me. These are not to be called as a receiver and transmitter. So we'll make a correction here. So two sections are there here. The this is the one section, this top section that is going to allow the propagation of light from left to right, acting like a whole. This whole section is acting like a top section is acting like a Walkup polarizer made up of titanium dioxide. Sorry. Yes. Yes. Coming to this one. So this polarizer is an example it is giving here, which is going to support you to the flow of light ray either from left to right or right to left. So in either case, your single optical ray is converted into ordinary and extraordinary rays like this one. So here we can see if you want to propagate or transmit the optical ray from right to left, again it will be converted into two rays. It is going to allow once again only those field components which are happening parallel to this one, this edging. Okay. Then it will be crossing this Faraday rotator right to left. How it is converting? It is again reorienting those field components by another 45 degree. Then this again it is going to allow those field components which are happening parallel to this one. So here we can say we are getting more divergent beams as extraordinary ray and ordinary rays compared to this one. So this all about optical isolators. Next one we got optical circulators. It directs the light sequentially from port to port, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 1 like that. Actually used in optical amplifiers and add drop multiplexers. This one application we can see after this one. So here we got again three components here. Walkup polarizers made up of titanium dioxide, half wave plates, then Faraday rotators. So the light ray which is entering in the port 1, it will be circulated by this Faraday rotator, and if it is allowed any of the field components to exit from port 2, it will be allowed to exit. And if any field component to be added, it will be added by this arrow mark. You can see B will be added along with A. A plus B you are getting here. Then it will be going out. Or if you want, you can add C and it will be allowed to go out from port 1. So the main features: low insertion losses, better isolation provided over a wide wavelength range, minimum polarization dependency, dependent loss, low polarization mode dispersion. So let us see one of the important application of this circulator. So here we are taking the help of this fiber Bragg grating. So fiber Bragg gratings are nothing but the materials which are cut into different sections. So here if you look into this one, they are acting like a tools here for multiplexing and demultiplexing the WF signals. So grating is a fiber with a core that has a sinusoidal variation of refractive index. So if you look in this one, so the gratings are nothing but cuttings are there, which are going to provide the variation of the refractive index in a sinusoidal manner. Refractive index will be increasing gradually and decreasing, increasing, decreasing like that in the sinusoidal fashion. So this variation affects the phase of the light passing through this grating, so that the some wavelengths interfere constructively and some will destructively cancel out. If you look at this one, we are letting the optical ray having the wavelengths lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3. Okay, left to right they are flowing through this grating section. Grating section means it has sinusoidal variation of the refractive index here. So here, this will contain lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda initially. Then while going out, we are getting only lambda 2 and lambda 3. Lambda 1 will be dropped out. Means the multiple wavelengths, the wavelengths having the integer multiple of wavelengths that is equal to lambda 1 will be dropped out, will be reflected back because of this sinusoidal variation of the refractive index. So the same principle we are using in order to get this add and drop multiplexer. So this one is acting like add drop multiplexer. So here we can see how we are getting this add drop concept. Let me write here. If you look at this figure, just enlarged here, we are using two 3-port circulators on and one fiber grating material or filter. Okay, we have two circulators and one fiber grating filter here. Suppose let us assume we are making one optical ray having three wavelengths lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3, etc. And different rays are having different optical rays are entering at port 1. Okay. So the wavelength entering at port 1 is going out from port 2. Going out from port 2, here it is entering into the fiber grating. Okay. And if it is lambda 2, multiple of lambda 2, it will be reflected back by this fiber grating filter. Sorry. And it will be allowed to exit from port 3. Means we are intentionally making lambda 2 to be dropped here with the help of this fiber grating filter. Means it will be tuned to reflect back lambda 2. Even you can make it to tune to lambda 3, lambda 5, any specific wavelength that you want to drop it. Okay. So this way we are going to implement the dropping concept. Add drop multiplexer means this is the dropping concept. So out of lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3, only lambda 2 how it is dropping from port 3 using circulator and fiber grating material. Means lambda 2 irangilla. Now only lambda 1, lambda 3 are flowing. Here lambda 2 ತೋರಿಸ್ಯಾರ ಅದು ರಾಂಗ್ ಅದು, you can correct it lambda 1. Lambda 1, lambda 3 ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗ್ತಾವೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪೋರ್ಟ್ 2 ಬಂತು. ಓಕೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ ಮೇಲೆ ಪೋರ್ಟ್ 3 ಬರ್ತಾವೆ. ಓಕೆ, ನಾವು ಪೋರ್ಟ್ 1 ನಾಗ ನೀವು lambda 2 ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋರಿ ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ. lambda 1, lambda 2 ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು lambda 1, lambda 3 ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಬಂತು. Now lambda 2 we can add. Now what will get lambda 1 plus lambda 2 plus lambda 3. Again it is going to port 2 port 2 ಹತ್ರ fabricating filter ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. Lambda 2 ಈಗ ಆಡ್ ಆಗೈತಿ. Again it is recognized by this tuned fabricating filter which is tuned to lambda 2. Lambda 2 again reflected back. As it is coming back, as it is lambda 1 plus lambda 2 plus lambda 3 is going out from port 3. Andra ಇಲ್ಲಿ add ಆಗಿತ್ತು, not affected much by this reflection from the fiber cutting filter and going out as it is. So you are adding here lambda 2 and here you are dropping lambda 2. This is how add drop multiplexer we are going to implement, or it is going to work out with the help of two 3-port optical circulators and one fiber cutting filter. Okay. So we have seen how the isolator and optical circulators are going to work out, and how we are going to implement different things with the help of circulator and fiber cutting filters. Another version of this fiber cutting filters is like this one. So this one is known as chirped fiber bragging grating, FBG. Okay. So here you can see the gratings are, their widths are go on decreasing. Okay. That is going to give you a different wavelengths which are go on decreasing. Initially, if it is reflected back, its wavelength will be larger. Middle one, if it is reflected back, it will be, its wavelength will be median or average one. If any wavelength or optical reflected back from the later parts or gratings, its wavelength will be very much less. Okay. So decreasing grating will be there, grating spacing will be there, along with their width. Width will decrease, spacing will also go on decreasing. So this kind of a nature of gratings will be go on giving rise to different kind of wavelengths, which are also goes on decreasing in the wavelength. Suppose if you are going to send widened pulse wavelength, okay, then you can see the wavelength will be reduced, that will be reflected back. Compressed wavelength will be getting it back along with the reflection. That is known as chirped. Chirped means it will be compressed. Fiber brag grating. Brag means it is a person named after that the person who invented this one. So actually it is known as, these wavelengths are known as Bragg's wavelengths, which are actually decreasing in the magnitude. So this chirped fiber Bragg grating is used to give rise, if you give widened wavelength pulse, it will be giving it back to you a compressed wavelength pulse. Any desired wavelength, if you want, you can tune it. If you want, you can get lambda 1 or lambda m or lambda n, but with compressed nature you can get. So this is another kind of grating application you got. So the shorter wavelength traveling farther, you can see here. So shorter wavelength bad durtana travel ಮಾಡ್ತಾವ into the fiber, hence experience more delay in the going through the grating as compared to the longer wavelength. The relative delays induced on different frequency components of pulse are opposite to the delays caused by the fiber. So this results in dispersion compensation as it compresses the pulse. So these are the vital points that we can include it in the explanation of its elaboration of the chirped fiber Bragg grating. Next one we got diffraction gratings. So these are the optical devices which spatially separates the different wavelengths without any gratings contained in the beam of light. Consist of a diffraction elements here, like a narrow parallel slits or grooves separated by comparable distance wavelength of light. How? Let us see here. Suppose if you make light ray containing different wavelengths, lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3, lambda 4. This is a reflection grating. Reflection grating hangirtadu andre, it is made up of a group of diffraction elements, like a narrow parallel slits or grooves separated by a comparable distance of wavelength. Slits irtav. When you make the light to fall on this one containing a set of wavelengths, each slit is tuned to different wavelength. That will reflect back lambda 1. Another slit that is tuned to lambda 2, it will reflect back lambda 2, so on up to lambda n. means each diffraction grating element or narrow slit is tuned to different wavelength. That is going to make reflection grating. Okay. So means automatically we are getting the what you can say demultiplexing or distribution of these wavelengths. Automatically multiplex signal lambda 1 plus lambda 2 plus lambda 3 will be got separated, and it will be sent to different optical fibers that are tuned to receive these different separate wavelengths. So it finds applications in the DWDM where the lines are spaced equally with each individual wavelength reflected at slightly different angle. Okay, we'll stop now. Let's see what we have covered: isolators, circulators, uh, fiber grating filters, and diffraction gratings we have seen. The next class we are going to look into TFF, optical components, and tunable light sources.